Metal dumbbells.
Roll.
What's up, fam? Welcome to Mental
Yeah.
Numbers episode 41. And
Oh,
in this
wow.
episode, yeah, man, it's a long way already. In this episode, we have Caryn joining us.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So as you all know, right, my job, I working in the freelance film industry. So right, a lot of times I get to see a lot of like famous people, like talented actors, YouTubers, all that stuff. But all of them is not interesting. And I decided to find our very interesting guest today because I find her as a very excellent actress because all my like a few years, I think like 2 years plus working in the industry, I feel she is one of the best that I've seen so far.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah. When it comes to just professional attitude and your ability, right, I just feel you are like really very good lah. So when I spoke to her on set also, I felt that like she you have this like sixth sense, this instinct that I feel she has a lot of things to share because I don't know, it's just a feeling that it gives me. So I figured we have a session today and then get to know and just get to know each other more lah. Okay.
Right.
So
Arrow,
just now
actually, can I interject? Do you
Yeah.
remember the very first time we met? It wasn't on this set.
I know it was
set.
on the previous one, on the one in the haunted house one, the haunted.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Wait, what? You all went
I
into a haunted
think-
house?
No, it's not a haunted. It's like a private estate lah, but we made it. We made a horror short film. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Then before that, we start the episode. Let's
Yes. Prepare your canned drinks.
our ritual. Canned drinks.
3.
Okay, ready? 2, 1. Oh my god, shit! It's spilled everywhere.
Right, cheers to a good episode.
Cheers!
Yes.
Meiji sponsor me.
Really?
No, I want them to. Shout out to Meiji.
Free milk.
Yes. Wow. All right. So,
So,
how about you give yourself an intro lah? Arrow keep talk so much. Wow, make her shy. You see, she blushing already.
I know, right? Can you see my blush? Well, I am an actress, I am a host, and I am also an entrepreneur, business owner. I have got my own business called Pearl Promises. So I deal with pearls in my free time.
Oh
I'm
wow,
obsessed with pearls. So
nice.
Wow.
Oh, that's interesting. I always see
I'm
those
actually
videos on
wearing
YouTube,
one
right?
of
Like
my
they. Oh, wow,
What?
not
Hey,
bad.
shout out your
businesswoman.
shout out your business one more time. Shout out. Come on.
It's called Pearl Promises.
Nice.
Promises.
Check it
Guys,
out.
Pearl promises.
And it's really
Yeah,
interesting because I am the first one in Singapore and right now the only one who is doing what I'm doing because it's a little bit different, right? When you go out and you buy a pearl, it's usually already set in jewelry. But for my case, what happens is if you do purchase a set, then the pearl will come inside the oyster and you
Wow.
guys have to shuck your own oyster and harvest your own pearl and then turn it into your own jewelry. So it's
Wow,
all
okay.
encompassed as a set. So I sell the entire experience instead of just a pearl.
Oh, Pearl Promises, right? I'm there right now.
Promises.
Oh.
You're checking out my website right now.
Hey, serious? Maybe I need to get one.
Oh,
get
candies
one
ah?
for- Yeah.
Get it. I'm sure she would love it. And
Open.
July's promotion is right. You get to pick your own pearl color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, usually I don't allow people to pick. It's kind of random, but for July only, you're allowed to pick your own color.
Oh, okay. Wait, but how does it work? Like, is you take the thing out? Is the thing alive? I know nothing about pearl extraction or oysters.
Harvest. Pearl
Harvest.
harvest.
Harvest. Okay, harvest.
So when the oyster comes over to you, it has already been preserved in a vacuum pack.
Okay.
No, it is not alive.
Okay. So I won't hurt it if, I mean, it's already dead lah.
Yes.
Is that right?
It has
Wait.
reached the end of its life.
Understand.
I think I have a very, very good question.
Okay.
Okay.
Oyster can eat not? Can cook and eat?
Cannot.
Aye.
Cannot. Every day I get question. Sorry, it's not Oloa, okay? Cannot eat.
Oh, God. Yeah, you see your website, the open oyster is not for consumption. Even caps not for consumption. So go and check it out.
Yeah.
It's very
like
interesting.
caps, right? Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Try to eat before not?
Well, I hope not lah, because really it's not for consumption. It's a completely different breed for one. So
Okay.
Oh.
yeah,
okay,
and for
okay.
two, because it has been preserved to be sealed in a vacuum pack, right? So it is tainted with a lot of alcohol. So please don't eat it. I know alcohol and oysters sound good, but no.
Wow, the Thor hammers looks good
The what?
Hey, focus, arrow, focus.
The Thor
Focus,
hammer.
arrow.
Oh, okay.
Come back.
Don't come here and do shopping, bloody hell.
Oh no, my wallet is screaming. Okay. Yeah. Let's. Yes, exactly. Hey guys, go and check it out. Okay. Back to. Oh yeah, when you started acting, when was the first time? I'm very curious.
I think it's on stage or on screen. Because I
Wow.
started performing in theatre since I was 14.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. So on screen, I think it would be about 5-6 years. About there. 7 maybe. 7 years. Yeah.
The first ever dollar earned from acting?
14. On stage lah, but first ever dollar earned from acting on screen would be when I was 18.
Oh, okay.
When
kind
I
of role
was
was that?
18, I had my first love.
You can see Ian trying to count, right? So how old is she now?
No, you forever 21, what, right? That's the girl's age, what, right?
I don't think in my case I like to be 21. I think in my case I would like to be forever 25.
25.
Forever 25.
Uniquely.
That's interesting. Why 25?
Why 25?
Because 25 is was the year when I truly accepted myself for who I am, and I felt free, and I felt strong and confident in my own skin. Yeah.
Oh, so happy to hear that, because someone like, the reason why I do counseling is because I myself have depression, anxiety, and bulimia. So like to hear someone find themselves is like, whoa, that is like a really big thing.
Yeah.
Like not a lot of people value it, but I'm very happy to hear that you value this and you treat it as a milestone like it is.
And I'm very happy to hear that you took something which is a part of you and then you made it into something bigger for everybody else. Thank you.
Thank you. So sweet. But I'm very curious, like what made you like, because acting is not a very common thing for career path, right?
Really?
And definitely, like, no meh. Like the traditional mindset, the normative way of thinking in Singapore is like, okay, so I study hard, I go uni, then I go out and work in a corporate line for like 9 to 5. But Arrow and myself, we are doing something different. Arrow is carrying heavy stuff and then like walking around getting scolded, that kind of stuff, making haunted houses, and you're pretending.
He doesn't get.
We are not doing normal things, but I'd like to hear your perspective on how you began and how you treated this whole thing.
Wow. How I began acting. So, how long do we have? It's gonna be a really long story. I started performing when I was really young, right? And before I went into theatre, I was doing ballet, and then from ballet I transitioned into music, and I was doing a lot of musical performances and ballet performances, and then from then I transited into theatre, which added on to acting and singing and whatnot, right? So I think at the core of it, I absolutely love what I am doing. right from the start. Because,
Nice.
I mean, let's take acting out of the picture and put it into the bigger umbrella of performing, right? I think at the end of the day, the core of performing is essence. And it's that soul and essence which kind of reaches out to the audiences and touches them or connects with them in a way. So it could be happiness, it could be entertainment, it could be really touching, or it could be really emotionally overwhelming. But at the end of the day, I think performance itself, art itself, evokes a certain emotion in people. And at the end of the day, because we are human, the basic instinct to be connected is through that empathy and through that connection. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
it does.
No connection, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have always loved how nuanced emotions can be, train of thoughts. How does it shape a person or a character or even a performance? And it has always fascinated me. Like, you know, little small tweak and a little small bit of change could change entirely either the performance or the character. So, yeah, it's really intriguing. It's like a lifelong journey sort of thing because you never stop learning, right?
Correct.
But getting to theatre, it was a parent's decision or your decision?
Theatre was absolutely my decision.
So young age, you knew that you wanted to go that direction.
Actually, I have always known that I wanted to be a performer because
Oh wow.
I started dancing when I was 3, and then I started going into the electronic organ when I was 8. So I have always been in this kind of artistic performance thing, and yeah, it's my first love. So
So
Very
cool.
talented.
I knew I wanted to be a performer.
I think we were playing Pokemon cards when we were at that age.
Yeah.
Right? Send
Oh,
your
but
when you're
oh,
younger,
wow.
what do you do?
Me,
Yeah.
we just 3 years apart, bro. Don't
No,
like
yeah,
it's not very big like that.
I know we're just apart, but my younger age was Pokemon cards and Game Boy. But yours was what?
Mine was, I don't know, I like to play with erasers and then I make like Rube Goldberg
Oh
machines and that kind of.
yeah.
I was a loner, so
Okay.
like I didn't have much friends. So
You know, like what
Sorry,
the eraser game? Is it?
yeah, like you win, then you flip over
Yeah,
the person.
yeah.
Yeah, eraser
Pokemon.
game. That's it lah. I remember I spent one
yeah.
whole day's meal on the $2 that I had on the eraser. Then I got scolded when I got home because I told them I was hungry. Then I never eat because I bought eraser. Yeah, good times, good times.
Okay,
But
back to the topic.
very, very.
$2 on erasers.
Yeah. But very, very wow. But like your parents, they did it just because in Singapore, in our context, like what I see nowadays where I talk to people from like LaSalle, all these people who are pursuing the arts, right? Parents is always a very, very big aspect, right? So like how did they take the news whereby you wanted to do this? If you don't mind me asking, of course, up to you.
No, of course not. I mean, at the age of 3, I think they kind of realized that, this girl is very interested in ballet because, back in those days, it's called Art Central, right? And there will be snippets of like Swan Lake, the Nutcracker coming on as a ballet during commercial breaks to go to the theater and watch this kind of shows. So in my own very small little girl world, I would playing my toys, and then the commercial will come on, and then I will be so transfixed on that ballet commercial for that 30 seconds. And when that 30 seconds is over, I'm like, okay, back to toys, you know? So I think they kind of realized that, this girl really got something, you know, going on for her. She's so interested about this. And it got to a point where I started mimicking the moves. That's how they met me for class.
Whoa.
So in a way, I guess they kind of also always knew, and they were very supportive about it. But when I wanted to really pursue it head on as a career, of course they had their concerns. You know, as a freelancer, you don't really get CPF, or like you don't get normal working hours. You don't get a full pay at the end of the month. So yeah, I mean, they definitely had their concerns. But I think They have always been very supportive. I've been lucky.
Nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, good that okay. This is very rare because that kind of mentality, like from what the people I spoke to lah. Because Arrow, you all speak to professionals, right? You're on set, all that kind of stuff, really. But I talk to those people who are like, hey, should I do acting? Hey, should I do music? And they're like, wow, my parents say I need to work, then can part time, then can do that kind of thing. So that's the kind of people I usually interact with lah. Like I have interacted with lah. Yeah, and it's very very nice to hear that there's actually, I mean, I bet communication was a big part of it lah. You need to establish the trust between you and your family, and then have a solid career plan to show them that like, yo, actually I got this, fam, right? And they won't be like so like, okay, they won't think like you are jumping into thing like just cause you love it. And I think that's really dope, eh.
Yeah, I think it's very important. Like, if you really want to pursue this as a career, you cannot just say, I want to act. That's it. You need to have a plan, right? And you need to sort of strategize your next steps. And really have like, okay, in 1 year, I want to be able to do this. In the next year, I need to achieve at least this. So how are you going to achieve your own personal targets or milestones, right? It's entirely up to everybody. So yeah, I think it's very important that you have a plan, because at the end of the day, if you really want to do this as a career, that is still the keyword, right? It's a career. But instead of like somebody managing your career for you, maybe climbing up the ladder or something, it's kind of your own business, because you are your own product.
Yeah.
So you have to plan it out strategically.
Makes sense. But for someone who says he wants to start out,
no. What would your like? How about like that? We just ask her to. How about you tell us your starting plans lah? Then see whether other people can adapt, and then improvise and see how they can do it now lah. I think that will be beneficial to our listeners.
My starting plan, I think from where I started, it was I started performing on stage, right? Like I said. So after I graduated in LaSalle, I wanted to be tagged to sort of like a brand where I could perform quite significantly to earn money, right? And at the same time be able to explore different ways of performing. So I was very lucky. When I graduated, immediately I joined an event company who was then representing Mattel, which is the Barbie brand. So I was traveling around and performing as Barbie. And through that job, I learned how to narrate, I learned how to better act, and how to do musicals even better, and like, sing, dance, everything encompassed in one. So I was really, really very lucky. And then from then, it was just slowly transition after transition, and eventually I landed a full-time job in Universal Studios Singapore. So I was based in Universal Studios Singapore for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years.
Doing?
And then I decided, okay, it's time to get out and make my dreams come true and reach people on a bigger platform.
You're performing on USS, ah?
Yeah, I was a performer at USS.
Yeah.
Oh, those very grand scale musicals, those kind, is it?
Say again?
Is it those like musicals, then the bigger scale ones, those kind?
At USS?
Which kinds?
In USS, I was a host with the Donkey Show. My name was Rosalind, so that required a little bit of acting as well. I was also the Alien Empress on stilts. Yes, I can walk and dance on stilts. Okay. Yeah. So, but like I said, along the way, it's always important to pick up new skills and to always be learning. So you will evolve as a performer and you will grow as a performer. So that should always be part of the plan. But I've been lucky lah. I mean, my transition was from stage and then slowly stage to live to film. Yeah.
Okay, so like I was just want to add, like, assuming if somebody wants to take a step into film career, what do you think their first step can be if they want to get gigs and stuff like that? So assuming like Xian wants to start acting,
Hi.
What will you ask him to do in the first thing?
Then, first question will be, how comfortable are you being vulnerable?
Very.
Good. Because to me, that's the most important thing. You need to, first and foremost, be confident enough to stand in front of a camera or a team and be vulnerable. Because the moment you can connect to yourself authentically and 100% purely, you can stay in the moment. And when you stay in the moment, you will be able to reach your audience. So first and foremost, I think very importantly, one needs to learn how to be authentic and vulnerable. And then, of course, always do your homework, remember your lines. Yeah.
Okay.
But you got a lot of bad experiences.
A lot of bad experiences.
Yeah. So if you're confident enough to stand in front of public and be vulnerable, I think your job is halfway done, quite honestly.
Oh,
Makes sense.
yeah, I can, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe go try Arrow. You shoot me not?
Can next time if I need a dead body, I tell you.
Oi.
Yeah,
But
but I always very
Of course, the next
amazed.
step should be you always need to learn a little bit of skills, right? Because
Yeah.
it's not just about saying the lines that you memorized. If not, everybody can just be memorizing a storybook and telling the story, right? So that's when authenticity and vulnerability comes in, because when you connect with the lines that you learn, then it kind of
That's the part I cannot do. That's the part I cannot do. I recognize
Yeah, but it's
it.
very tough because like halfway throughout filming, right? Like you always get directions from the director.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you like say like, oh, actually can you change this line? Can you do this? Can you do that? Wow, the information is overwhelming, man. I always see like if I was in that spot, right, I'll be like, okay, wait, but you want me to do that, can, but you need to give me 10 minutes. I go to one side and practice first. But yet you seem to always can just like, oh, okay, then you just do it afterwards. Because like a lot of things will be going through your head, like, oh, like positioning, where I need to look, where I need to face, my emotions, my lines, where I need to put my hands, my face expression, everything, all just like it's
Must
Oh,
remember.
Conti also. Conti.
yeah. Everything, wow, it's intense. Then like mad respect. Cause on another note, guys, just I saw one scene where I had to I asked her to be more emotional, and then she was really very good. Like I say anytime one, just be emotional. Then she like start keeping all the emotions out. Oh, it was very good.
Who?
You are.
Who?
I was like, who?
I felt it, so it was very good.
Were you asking for really? When? Why do I
No
not remember?
There are a lot of times you had to be emotional on set one. Once importantly was when the last scene. Remember the one where you tell your kid that you have to go away because I'm gonna protect you. Then you turn around. Then the next one, the other one was there was just backstory for the other guy. So it's just this story where she was at home. She came home and then she saw her kid leaving the house. Then she was like, why are you leaving the house? Then the kid doesn't understand that as a parent, the parent is trying to protect the kid. So she had to like scold the kid and be emotional at the same time. And then like the emotion she bring right is intense. But you know that in between the sessions, right, like every take, right, there is downtime, which is like we have to edit stuff, we have to reset stuff, we have to like example when she's tying the kid up, then we had to untie the kid, and then like there was a lot of downtime. So imagine
Like, wait, she's trying to protect him and yet she's tying him up, like.
Yeah, saya tak faham. Like is this child abuse?
In order to know more, you have to watch the film, okay?
Yes.
So we'll plug the film down. But yeah, when it's out, we'll let you guys know. But in the scene, I mean, like the downtime is really just very disruptive to whatever emotions that you have. So like you need to pick it up, you need to hold it, and then like afterwards when everybody say action, then you feel very nervous, and then like you still have to push it
Let it
down
out.
and then bring the other emotion up. Then remember your lines, remember your position, everything. I cannot say. I see it.
Conti. Conti very important. She
Yeah,
say already.
Conti,
Conti very
Conti.
important.
Yeah, very good.
You will make the editor's life a lot easier if you remember your copy. So
Mm-hmm.
that's
That is true. That is true.
Mm.
Yeah, but in Singapore's like how do you think in general our industry is? Your take?
Oh, so curious.
So
Our
curious.
industry, meaning the film industry or art industry as a whole?
I think film specifically. We go more in depth a bit, like acting wise.
I think at the end of the day, our film industry is growing, and there are a lot of new filmmakers coming out that have very strong opinions and very strong point of views and stories that they want to tell. And a lot of these stories are a lot more, I want to say, close to the heart, a lot more down to earth, what's happening, what's going on in the ground. And they are exploring a lot of diverse different types of background and characters and people, and to me that's a great step ahead, so as an actress it means that my playground is a lot bigger.
Yes.
Instead of just okay, I think in a show there will be like 1 to 10 type of characters. So if I fall into one of these 10, great, I have a job if they want me. If I don't fall into this 10, then okay, I wait for the next project and hope for the next 10 to be something that's suitable for me,
Yeah.
So I think the whole climate of the industry has changed in a sense where people these days are a lot more courageous, I feel, in exploring different types of characters, different types of stories. So yeah, like I said, it's the playground just got bigger, which is very exciting.
Yeah, I'm very happy also. Like I've been seeing like a lot of more young creators, what's it called, video makers young producers, people make
Content
video
creators.
content creators. That's what I'm looking for. Yes,
We are not
young content
influencers. We are
creators.
content
Yes,
creators.
correct. Like they are talking about things that are very much more prevalent in Singapore, like racism and mental health issues, which is something that I fuck with a lot lah. Like I love mental health issues and like I love talking about mental health issues because nobody actually knows much about it. So like I'm really really happy. I think you'll be like I really hope that one day you get a role of someone who like fights a mental illness. I think you will do damn amazing.
I hope so too. I mean, that is one of my dream roles, like to get somebody as a normal human being. I don't know what's the exact medical term for it, but as a normal human being, something just happens within the brain and you cannot stop it. It's part of your DNA and it's part of, it's in you, you're born like that. So slowly the brain kind of degenerates or somehow inside just triggers and you go into psychosis. And I don't know, is there a medical term for that?
I forgot already, but yes, there is. Like you slowly become younger and younger, right? Your mental age.
No, not about being younger and younger, but you slowly sort of retreat into your own world where you go a little bit schizo.
Oh.
And then you go into psychosis and you will reach a point where you are just gone inside. Whoa. And there is no way to fight it. Like no medicine can cure you. I cannot remember the name, but yeah, I think that's one of the roles that I really am excited and interested to explore if it ever comes out.
Okay, talking about mental health.
Huh?
Yeah, okay. Talking about mental health, right? Because a lot of our audience actually focus, and we always like to focus on talking about mental health. So, like I think we can dive a bit deeper into this side of things. Let's talk about because being a freelancer, I feel you always have a lot of pressure when it comes to getting more gigs. And another note is about proving to our parents that we can kind of use this as a career. We can get our shit together and stuff like that. Like we are just very interested to also hear if you have any of this kind of experience time, like maybe like the worst few sessions you had while acting, or or a point in your life that you felt
You questioned it.
very question mark, don't know what was going on, this kind. Because we really love for people to share more about this type of stuff. If
Success
you
stories,
can,
lah, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Actually, quite honestly, I don't know if you guys know about this, but I was participating in a Channel 5 talent show called The Five Search.
Oh.
I was in that show and I was a finalist, so very thankful for that. But a little bit of backstory. So
Ah,
before that, after I finished my 2 years in Universal Studios Singapore, I had a little bit of
okay.
downtime. So during this downtime, what happened was, okay, I thought I was gonna take this time and refresh and shone ahead, for my new next milestone. But what happened, unfortunately, was in between I had bilateral hernia. So I had to go for like an emergency operation sort of thing to get it fixed. So I have been a performer all my life. I mean, before that, I was dancing and walking on stilts. Before that, I was like jumping around, having a lot of energy, dancing ballet and whatnot, right? So as a performer, your body is your tool, and to have bilateral hernia and go through an operation, which was major, and having downtime after that to recover for about 2-3 months.
Wow.
That was probably one of the darkest points in my life, because as a performer, I am just starting to want to really go out there into the real world and push myself and see how far I can get. But because of that, suddenly now I am just lunged all the way down back to square one, and I don't know if my body at that point in time I ever had the strength in me to actually recover and be fully dependent. I mean, fully independent, right? Because when I was recovering, I even needed help to sort of sit up. I couldn't sit up by myself, right? I couldn't walk by myself. Laughing was painful. Talking was painful. So every little thing made me question, like, shit, what if, like, I don't recover well and my body can never be at optimal again for what I want to do and what I want to push myself to do. So during that entire period of about 2-3 months, I got a little bit into a depression, and it really made me think if I really wanted to perform again, because it's like, I don't really know how to explain this, but it's like when you have been alone by yourself for too long, and because you are recovering, there is really nothing much you can do. So you have too much time on your hands, and then things just start taking over in the brain, and then you just keep hearing words and doubts and questions, and then it's like a slow, dark, stormy cloud inside the brain, and it just envelopes you. So that's how I felt, and it was so bad. It was really so bad. It got to a point where I refused to talk to people. I didn't really want to communicate with people. Like, people be texting me or calling me on my phone, and I'll be like, whatever. Yeah, yeah. It got to that point where I really didn't want to talk to people. And to me, it's, if I didn't even want to communicate with my friends or family, why would I want to connect and communicate with the rest of the world?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So why am I performing there? I shouldn't be performing. Forget it. So I was very lost, and I was very depressed, and I just really wanted to recover, but I don't even know how, and I don't even know how long it would take, right? So it got to a point where one of my very close friends called me out. This was when I could walk. So she called me out, and then she sat me down and she said, "Caryn, we need to talk. You are not yourself. I'm worried and I'm concerned. And I think we need to help you get back on track. Because if you don't and you continue down this way, nobody knows what's gonna happen to you next, right? Because even if physically I was recovering, mentally I was deteriorating, and I was not myself. So she sat me down and then she brought out this huge notepad and pen, and she was like, okay, we're gonna talk this through one point by one point, okay? So you tell me how much you want to earn next year. What's your plan for next year? And then she just, quite honestly, it was her talking most of the time. I didn't really contribute much to that conversation. But what happened on the way home is that I came across an ad, which was the Five Search ad, and they said that they were looking for actresses and hosts, and it's a talent show, right? So suddenly, with that talk that I just had with my friend at the back of my head, and then seeing this advert, it was like a right smack in the face and going like, you crazy, ah? You really want to throw all that away? Ah? You spend your whole life building for this, man. Yeah. I was 25 then.
Oh.
So I really spent, counting from the first day I started ballet class, right? I spent 22 years doing it. Then, do I really want to throw it away? How can I throw away 20 years of my life like that? Right. So, yeah, that was a huge smack in the face. And then I joined the contest, and here I am today. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds so heartwarming to hear that like your friend cares so much that she brought down a notepad and went and talked to you. Like this is very similar to how Arrow pulled me out, because I have 2 sleep days, something similar to what you have, couldn't walk, couldn't do much. Then I had surgery also, whatever. But then Arrow also is the one that when like come we go eat V6 opposite my house. Then he drove around in his van filled with like sawdust, and he was telling me like, we need to do something, you need to have a drive, you need to have a goal, or else you just very pointless, fucking useless in your life. Then what's the point of doing that? Then like we started better dumbbells. And then he started bringing me around, doing projects, and I started getting a footing. Yeah, totally. Wow, it just goes to show like, when you are feeling down, feeling sad, a friend is sometimes the best thing that can help.
Yeah. And I don't know if you are familiar with this emotion, but I think for people who go through depression, especially, and anxiety, you are the weakest when you are alone. However, if you're in front of people that you care about, suddenly this mask come on and we all become professional actors, you know? It's like,
Great.
good, then yeah, I'm cool, nothing wrong with me. But yeah. But it's true, right?
Yes, it's very true. Shit. You know why or not? Let me show you. I even have a friend to take care of me every day.
That's nice. So I'm very blessed lah. Like I said, I have friends around me who goes, Caryn is very quiet. When she's very quiet, it's time to worry. So after being quiet for a very long time, then they started to worry, and then they were like, let's get her out of home.
Yeah,
So having people around you who really knows you and really cares about you is very important.
Having that finding when so like when you're depressed, I think the one thing you lack is hope and drive, and like you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do, you don't know anything.
The best is
just
if I'm not around anybody at all.
Correct.
That's the best.
Disappear 就好，不要 nobody better. Okay, just keep quiet, go one corner, then pretend you don't exist.
I'm a hermit, okay? My shell only got space for one, okay?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. But you just need that one person to go knock. Hello? Hey, 起来了. Then to drag you out by force. I remember Arrow used to call me like so many times to pull me to sets just so that I could sit there and just help whenever I can. Like, oh, okay, you go put that can over there. Okay, you take the can there, put here, or you shake this car. Then like that was him giving me like something to do. The sense of purpose really changed everything. Right.
Yeah.
The wheeling them good lah, bro. The wheeling them good.
Oh, you're such a good friend. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's the original person who saved my life.
I mean,
First person to give a fuck.
felt something like, you need a purpose, right? So
Yeah.
we created mental dumbbells. So this mental dumbbells was just so that we can share our experience. Next time, hopefully, if we manage to help someone that's going through the same thing, possibly 10, 20 years later, the next Xian.
No, it's already helping already. Like nowadays, like people tell me, hey, what is depression? Then I just, episode what? That one got doctor one, you go see. Because we interviewed a doctor, psychiatrist last year. Yeah. And like I just, you want to listen depression, like go listen that one. I talking also. Don't need hear me talk, you just plug your piece. Then like if somebody want to talk about like how to talk to girls, we also got an episode. Like it's really, really, really like just to document our journey to become better people. Like right now, I finally got to a point where I can go to school. Like that is a huge thing to me. Like I can finally sit down and study. Sure lah, I need some emotional aid and like people around me to push me and explain stuff to me. Cause like sometimes it gets a bit overwhelming, but I'm still on a better path. And it's all thanks to you, Aero.
But also, like, it's very nice to hear your story when it comes to how bad things were until now. Yeah.
I mean, there of course are a lot of triggers on the way, right? I mean, for a person to just drop into deep, dark bottom, it's not just one thing. It really would be a thing after a thing, escalating and escalating.
Combo.
Yeah, it's like it gets to a point where as a person you just kind of give up. Well, like I don't want to fight anymore. I'm done. Yeah, and I think that ball started rolling for me when I lost my mom to cancer. So you as an Asian, I think now a lot of people really talk about emotions openly. So to deal with that kind of grief, and yet, like I said, on the front, it's like, I'm cool, I'm good, I'm okay. It kind of kills you a little bit inside, So things started boiling, and then, I was in my hermit shell for a while. I loved it there. Don't drag me out, leave me alone.
But
so I completely get it.
When your mom passed, is before the situation or after your surgery?
Before my surgery. She passed away when I was 24.
Wow. Oh, okay.
So right? It's one thing after another. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. Oh, it's shit, man.
So
how are your relationship with that friend that dragged you out now?
Hello.
He's now kind of like a godma to me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's because of that, right? I told her, I said, I think I upgrade you from friend status to godma status.
Makes sense. We'll talk about relationship.
Sorry, come again?
Talk about relationship. Let's move to relationship.
Okay. Wow.
Yes. How is the relationship status right now? Is it conflicting with your freelance entrepreneurial goals via everything else you want to do?
As in with my friends, with my family.
Love life.
Yeah.
Love life, First and foremost, I love myself.
This girl very jiao, I like.
Actually, very true. I agree. I totally agree.
So much to Pluto and back. Because if I don't know how to love myself, I cannot have enough to spare to love someone else.
Very true. Retweet. This one actually really, I totally 100% agree with you. Like I still feel that like a lot of people don't understand the fact that they supposed to spend this time to find out and figure out themselves first, find out what they like, what they don't like, and build their own self-value and their own meaning to their life. Then they find another half, because when that happens, right, the other half is not your entire world once you find him. Right? It's like you all both are complements to each other, and you both are finding your own thing to pursue something that you all love in your own life. So like like I still feel because it's still very like our parents brought down this very olden era kind of vibe, right? Which is like, oh, your life is just to find another half, he's your entire world, then
And
have a
settle
kid.
down, get married, have a kid.
Yeah, exactly. So I 100% agree with that statement.
I think it's so important to first and foremost love yourself and feel whole as yourself. So I'm gonna give you this analogy, okay? It's like so if you two analogies. First and foremost, you need to love yourself. If say for example this glass today is you and you have you have water right inside, but it's not full yet. You don't have enough to share. Sooner or later you run out and you won't have for yourself. Right? But if it's full and then you have more to pour and it's overflowing, then you by all means share. Right? And you still have enough for yourself. It's water sustenance. Without water will die. Huh? So it's so important. That is one. Now having said that, if you have like this half here that is completely full and whole, and you have someone else who is completely full and whole, and you put together, you get a heart.
Why the glass suddenly become hard?
That's what I mean, like like half and half become heart.
Right.
So I think it's so important, especially in this day and age. People don't understand that your happiness, right, is not your partner's problem. Of course, if I love you, I want you to be happy and I'll do everything in my means to make you happy. But happiness, right, your personal happiness is not my responsibility. Same as my personal happiness will not be a partner's responsibility.
Yeah.
I cannot make you feel happy. I can do something that somehow invokes that happiness within you. But the moment I stop doing that something, does it mean that you're going to get upset with me?
Yeah.
Does it mean that we're going to have to go through shit as a couple? Right? So, yeah. Does that
I'm gonna crop this. I'm gonna
Yeah,
crop
man.
that part. There's a 3-part.
That is very, very, very valuable. I swear, I feel. I
I'm gonna
agree.
crop that. I'm gonna crop that.
Our
But
mental
wow, I
numbers
can,
label put on it.
yeah. Wow, but I can see your acting range from the how you carry yourself, like suddenly very eloquent, then suddenly the alien come out, then suddenly all the better. Wow, respect. Outstanding. Wow.
Maybe I'm a little bit cuckoo, that's why. I don't know.
Hey, the best people are always a little cuckoo. Einstein
Yeah,
said that.
I agree. You see, the best people are actually people who are comfortable in their own skin, right? Whatever comes from. Yeah. I
Everything
feel.
goes. Same lah.
That's why I keep telling you, are you comfortable being vulnerable on screen? Because if you are, by all means, you are happy there.
No lah, but acting, I don't feel like I don't know. Personally, I don't like acting because I find it difficult, too difficult for me. Cause I don't like to remember things, especially lines. So, me no acting. If you want me to do improv, sure, by all means, I can go on stage and make a fool of myself. But that's it.
Yeah.
But I really respect that.
Have you acted before now? No, right?
Me? No, never.
I thought you did once before.
Yeah, no lines one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I specifically say I don't want any lines.
Some
Actually,
extra roles.
the roles without lines are a lot more difficult than roles.
Yeah, cause you need to the what's that called? The micro expressions need to be there. The what's that called? More movement, more.
Eyes need to emote.
You need to do the.
It's in the eye.
Yeah.
I did some research on it because I really consider it with Arrow because that time I keep going down set and I'm like, hey, acting like fun eh. Like they saw the eng one, then they say action, then you move a bit, then you go back, sit down already. And I was like, okay. Yeah.
You just insulted the whole career.
No. Then I went to look into it. Wait. Then I went to look into it. Then I saw like, okay. Then I had like Kishan, he showed me like, this is like he play a game whereby you need to throw random scene and then he need to act it out. Then he throw some stuff at me. Then like I see, then I compare. Then like, hey, why he do like better than me? Then I confused. Then I went to look into more. Then the micro expression thing come out. Then I'm like, okay, no, I cannot control my eyebrows to that level. No, thank you. I don't want to cry on command. Thank you. No, thank you. It's okay. Then
Oh,
counseling.
yeah, I remember at the time during Kishan episode, right? You
Yeah,
did
correct,
the
correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know Kishan?
I think so. Yes, we worked on a show together before. Can't
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
perfect
I
one.
saw you on his Instagram story before, I think.
I think it's called the perfect one, something like that.
Oh,
Mm.
oh, you were on the perfect one, the app one, right? He was a YouTuber, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's why I recognize you. Sorry.
Oh, thanks.
I don't usually watch local stuff, but I only watch like those things that like people really like mental health related. Like recently, Kishan played a role whereby he was a depressed what's that called, reporter.
News
Yeah.
reporter.
Yeah. Then he actually asked like, how does it feel to be depressed lah? Why, like, what do you feel, like what do you go through? Then like he really put in a lot of effort into this role. Then like I saw it come on stage and I was like, oh, good job. Wow, damn proud. Yeah. Like he
Man.
embodied the role very, very well. And like I really hope to see you. Hey girl, please, if you got like this kind of thing, please share. I go follow you on Instagram. I become your fan.
I hope one day I will be lucky enough to receive a role like that.
Like wow. So yeah, I see like I love your energy. Like that's why I'm so excited. Then I love how you change so fast. And I'm like, wow, very zai. Now I can see why Arrow appreciate your acting so much. Because as someone who studies like counseling lah, you're trained to like you need to spot some certain traits and certain like emotions and how people behave ma. And I can see you're just being you. I love it.
This is my heart. It's open.
You're even wearing red, perfect.
I
By
mean,
the way, colour
like I
code.
say, it's so difficult. It's so important to be authentic, because if today I sit here and I have a mask on and I, try and like, yeah, and I patronize you, right? You can feel it. What? You are human, right? You will have receptors in your brain going, she's a fake.
Nada, fake.
Yeah. So what's the point of having this conversation if I'm a fake? And to me, it's so important. I mean, I really do not value fakeness at all, and 100% love authenticity. So it's so important for me, and I need to live by my set of rules.
Amen.
Can we talk about that though? I'd like to talk about Arrow. Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's talk about fake people. So like,
Whoa.
no, like,
Wait,
I mean, your job is literally pretending to be people. You wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if some people take that shit home, right? They like naturally they fake. I don't know any names, so I cannot drop names. But I just want to hear your experience. Yeah, like how do you deal with like people with the hi, I'm fine, hi, I'm good. You know, like how do you deal with those?
Arrow, let's hear from you first.
Whoa.
How do you deal with fake people, bro?
Wow. Definitely we're not gonna drop names.
Yes,
But,
no names.
usually when you meet people, in general I don't know why. To be very frank, like after you meet someone for a while, you will kind of know and get the vibe of them, whether they are genuine or not. So like recently, I just have very the bar is very low for me, which is the bar is very high, which is like if I feel that there is a certain amount of not authenticity to that person,
Bullshit.
right? I would honestly just tend to shy away from the person, because like I personally I'm very blessed because I like, no matter how toxic my primary, secondary, or poly-ish life was or surrounded by people last time, the people that stay near the vicinity of my area, right, like at Choa Chu Kang there, right, I managed to have a few of very close friends. So like I didn't really had to, I mean, like my pillar of support was always them, and they weren't toxic at all, and they were very supportive, really genuine friends. So like no matter how exposed I was to these people, I never need to rely on people who were very toxic in my life. You get what I mean? Yes, no? Does that make sense? Yeah, and the biggest one was during secondary school, where we, you know, like in secondary school, you were very childish, and then you do a lot of stupid shit. So what happened was I was kind of like tricked into doing something quite bad. And what happened was the gang that I was with, not gang, the group that I was with, they kind of like it just self-destructed within the entire group. So everything went super bad. But it just taught me a lot that back then, to really vet your friends very properly, understand who they are, what they're doing. Because like even right now growing up, right, like the important thing I have is that I always remind myself when it comes to my goals, what stuff I'm doing, then I'll cross-reference to the people that I have. For example, like I want to be more fit, then I hang out with a lot more gym people. When it comes to like learning how to deal with my finance, I hang out with friends who are actively talking about investing, all that stuff like that. Then you see like filmmaking, then I hang out with John Dior, Braven Dior, and then like get to know more about film stuff. So I was just very selective, but right now my bar, honestly speaking, is quite high. Like if anyone else were to come into my life, I would just like really vet them quite seriously. Yeah, because honestly, I have like now I have enough friends. I have enough very close friends. I have very good pillar of support. So yeah, getting like vetting them, I would say for people who are listening, vetting them and making sure they are close, because like you are always the average of 5 to 7 people that you hang out with, right? So if those 5 to 7 people are not in line with whatever the hell you want to do in your life, then I think it's time to move on. Because during secondary to poly that age, right, I had a friend, okay, I can name drop this one. He's called Ernest. So this guy, right, he's one of the people in my life that impacted me so much that I grew a lot, from a simple kid that know nothing until at least I know that there's a lot of stuff that I do not know. And then like he taught me one very simple rule, like things that you don't know, you go and Google. So like I learned a lot from that. And then like you know, it slowly built my whole character until where I am now. Yeah. So when it comes to toxic friends, really is need to vet. And if another very important tip, how they act will how they act without in front of you when your other friends is not there will means how they act when you are not there as well to you. So if you are in a group, right, that keep bitching about each other, right, you know that they'll bitch about you. So it's time to avoid those kind of situations by, you know, finding new friends. Yeah. Sorry for the long one, but
Agree. No, I completely agree. And Tian, congratulations, you made his cut. He said
yeah,
5 to
man,
7
you made the
friends.
cut.
You made the cut. Congratulations.
I'd like to thank my father, my brother, Jesus, and Sarang Hayes.
New one, son.
Flying Hut.
Oh, is it? Then what it
Yes.
is? Oh,
Yeah, Flying Hut.
cool.
This is Sian trademark, patented.
Eyes.
Oh.
Owl.
Yeah, but I think you're absolutely right. I think as a first and foremost, when you do meet somebody, usually I find within the first 3 seconds, you would sort of have a sense about that someone. Like what you said earlier on, you have that sixth sense, right? So for me, usually it would be about that first 3 seconds or so. And immediately, instinctively, like you know whether your bullshit meter is beeping, or you know this one you cannot trust, or you know this one could be a friend for life kind, you know. So yeah, I think that first 3 seconds of meeting somebody, that gut instinct.
Yeah.
Me
I'll say
ne.
believe it.
Sorry?
Huh?
Huh?
Who talking now?
Sian, okay, we talk about Sian. Sian, you full of bullshit lah. Don't trust him.
Yeah.
Cannot trust him.
No, cannot. Me. How did I fare on your bullshit meter?
Who, me?
Yeah.
My bullshit meter? I think in the beginning you were a little bit apprehensive. You're like, don't know whether she will talk to me, or like, you know, whether she will be cool enough to share. And then after a while, you kind of slowly got comfortable, and we started grooving. So yeah.
That's nice. Okay, I just want to ask you another situation. One of the another thing that I admire a lot from you is that I feel that you have you will find yourself in a lot of spots where you must speak to people even though you don't want to, even though you don't want to entertain them, you still will put the extra effort to at least talk to them and say hi, get to know their name, ask them a little bit of stuff. Like how and where you get this energy from, or like what's your mindset? Because I mean, the first time when I met you also, you immediately asked me or more stuff about myself, even though I was just sending you from one place to another. I mean, it
Not
could
true. He
be
was helping out with the shoot. Yeah, he
yeah,
was
but yeah, okay. So I mean, I felt that that point of time, right? Like you had a lot of bigger things to think about. You had a lot of things to you were troubled with, because I mean, like you figure your lines are thinking about what to do later, all that stuff, and yet you still can spend time to take out and to meet someone new and to talk to someone. I mean, I really admire the attitude a lot. And as someone who recently, right, like when you grow older, you just get very lazy. Then there are moments where you just like, fuck, I just don't want to talk to anybody. Then like last time I was very like sociable, very chatty, but now I'm just like everything toned down. So just wondering your take, like you obviously with your depressive episode you were like that, but how and what's your mindset now? Like how it helped you to be more
better.
take the effort. Like now you at least will take the effort to talk to people. Because I mean obviously it's not or is it a thing that is very easy for you that you're okay to do it? Or is it something that you need effort to push also when time comes? Yeah.
Um, that's a very good question. I
Uh,
think I made it a point that I really want to connect with everybody on set. Like regardless of whether you are a crew, you're a PA, you're one of the extras, you're one of the actors, regardless, first and foremost to me, I need to know your name, because the moment I know your name, you become part of my environment and part of my surrounding, right? And I feel like a lot of times people don't do that anymore. They don't take the effort to acknowledge somebody in their presence. We can be sharing the same space, we can be breathing the same air, but because you don't know who I am, I don't know who you are, you completely just ignore me and then like stare.
Yeah.
But we're doing the same job, right? And to me, being on set in that one team, everybody to know and be comfortable with each other, at least on a first name basis, is so important because it's a teamwork, right? I mean, you've been on set. The moment you go on set, there is so many things happening at the same time, and everybody has their own job to do. And the only way we can all create something together beautifully is if we all work together. If one person is out of sync, that's it. You have to do it all over again. So, to me, that kind of fosters a connection between myself and the other party. And of course, if we are sharing the same space, as much as, yes, I have my own job to do and I have things in my head, but if we are not working, like say, for example, we were traveling from one place to another before we went on for a shoot, right? To me personally, I would have and I should have already done my homework, so much so that the moment I go on to my next location, I know exactly what I need to do. And of course, discuss it with the director and then take the scene from there. But in that moment, it's just us sharing the ride. How awkward would it be, right? If you're giving me a ride, I don't even know your name. There is nothing to talk about. And then it's like, I don't want to take you as a driver because that's not what you are or who you are, So I think it's so important to acknowledge somebody in the same space as you. And a small acknowledgement goes a long way.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I am very friendly. I mean, I hope I am friendly and I am nice. But at the same time, I think it is important to be acknowledged. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, it's like a. I don't really know. I don't really have the words to say this, but it's like a.
But I
Yes,
get it.
I see you. I hear you. You are here
Yeah.
with me, and thank you for being here with me.
Yeah. Because
It's
a
a
lot of times
form
I
of like
happen.
appreciation like that lah.
I tend to like just okay, like don't say hi. Then because sometimes you're just lazy. Yeah, okay, but I think I'll take note. I'll try to at least acknowledge, say hi, get the name. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a
think
lot of times it's
the
just easier, man.
the first step is usually just to go, "Hi, I didn't catch your name. You are Errol.
Yeah.
Great, nice to meet you."
Do you
Makes
literally
And
say
let's
that?
see where it goes. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
you never know what kind of interesting stories people will share with you, or what kind of interesting perspective people will share with you, and it's always good to be learning and hearing people out.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's
True,
what I
true,
do. That's
Totally
why I do
agree.
it too. I say hi because I find people's perspective interesting.
Yeah. The
Because
previous guest we got was he said hi to this random guy.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then turns out he is one of our friend's friend and he's a
Oh,
content creator at Wa Banana. Yeah.
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 I say
Yeah,
hi to
Very
but
people.
it's like
interesting.
the universe plants people in your way or in the
Mm.
same space as you because there is always something to learn, or there is always like a stepping stone for the next thing that comes into your life. So it's so important
Mm.
to really make sure you cover all lessons.
Yeah.
Me anyway.
Yeah. Hey, Sin, I think we can wrap things up. I
One
think
last
how long have
question.
we?
One last question.
Ah,
One last
okay,
question.
okay.
Do,
Yeah.
do you color coordinate your shirt and your lipstick?
Lipstick and my shirt?
Ah,
Yes, of course.
okay. On point. New show appreciation for the effort she put in.
Yes,
Thank
yes, yes.
you.
Because that's the first thing I noticed. Then I've been holding that question for damn long. 1 hour, 12 minutes.
Uh, get it out of your system, you know?
well, I'm waiting for that. Okay, I think
Okay.
that's I can wrap it up. Everybody
Mm.
okay? Any burning questions? Mo?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Anything else you want
So
to ask me? Well, you can always
anything
ask me again.
Okay, wait. Let's do this.
Ah.
Same thing. Think about our viewers, because our viewers, imagine there are people who are maybe 20-ish, maybe late 30s also fine. People who, maybe let's say, do not know what they want to do in their life or anything else. A lost soul. Okay, what is something that you want to share with someone? Do you have anything?
This is your ending speech, so
Yeah.
make it more kick, okay? You want to cry also can.
Imagine it's your little sister. Imagine it's your little sister. Then you want to tell her about like life, something interesting or something useful. What's the thing
Okay.
that you want to?
I think if you are feeling lost out there today and you don't know where to go and you don't know what your purpose in life is, I would like to tell you, don't freak out. Really don't freak out. Not everybody knows exactly where they should be or where they should go. And if you don't freak out, just take a moment, take a step back, take a deep breath, and really allow yourself to feel exactly what you need to feel in that moment, to hear the thoughts in your head, to see with your heart, it will come.
Very good,
Take a
very
breath.
good.
Just,
Goli.
just breathe, everything will be okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's really very sweet.
So instead of I cry, is it I want to make you cry? Is it like that?
Well, my heart feels them warm. Good job. Outstanding.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sin, you can.
I
take it
really
away.
want to. I think I will meet you one day. You sound like a very fun person to hang out with.
Yeah, let's do it. We're supposed
Okay.
to hang out, right, Arrow? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
let's do it.
Joe. Okay. Wait. Okay, let me do the ending first. All right. So, if you're not feeling well, you're not feeling great. you feel alone, you feel lost, you feel like you are down, A, don't freak out, but B, there's always someone here. Us. You can hit us up on our Facebook, on our Instagram, Mental Dumbbells. We're always here for you. You're not alone. My name is Xian.
My name is Arrow.
And I'm Caryn.
Nice.
All right, and that is episode 41.
Yes,
Yeah.
if we never get our numbers wrong for episode 41.
Confirm.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.